great to welcome you, Ben. It's very good to have you here at the Dexory Central Headquarters, and I'm very excited to be speaking about some of the very exciting artificial intelligence topics today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So I think there's no secret that in 23, artificial intelligence has been one of the biggest topics of discussion pretty much at the global level. How do you see the shift of focus for companies and shift of focus for people working in the field transitioning from 23 to 2024?
So I think 2023 was an incredible year, right? You saw how quickly a set of new AI, new machine learning technologies could emerge, and the phenomenal impact they could have, the phenomenal step change in what that technology could do. And you saw early on new image models, new text models, ChatGPT, and a kind of whole host of other things very quickly push a whole new suite of capabilities in AI. That was very exciting, and a very small group of companies were doing the fundamental research there. And then what you saw in the kind of startup ecosystem was a whole generation of kind of very thin layer companies building thin layer applications on top of those underlying models. So lots of very interesting things, but really quite undifferentiated and quite kind of V1 in terms of their capabilities, in terms of what they could do on top of that core technology. So a lot of things in helping you to draft emails or making kind of cool pictures that could go alongside your marketing material. That's all great, and there are some really amazing companies built out of that, but actually as the technology gets better and better, the differentiation of those businesses has been kind of hard to see. I think what we've seen going into this year, and if it's not this year, kind of in the years ahead, is really now a set of companies like yourselves that are really trying to exploit these technologies, one level, if not 5 levels deeper, really trying to work out the potential of those technologies in core applications, in real industries, in the real world. And that's what I'm really excited by. I'm excited by the idea of how deep these powerful technologies can go to take huge traditional industries that have traditionally not embraced technology, let alone AI, partly because it's so hard to solve the problems that they have, because it requires the kind of interaction with the real world and the kind of problem solving which has not always been easy to do before. To take this technology to those industries, to those problems, and really to find powerful solutions that create huge economic value.
That's excellent. It's really good to hear that also the focus is now shifting to real world applications, to driving value to a lot wider industry applications.
So as I said, what I'm excited about is the magnitude of the problems in more traditional industries and the opportunity to solve those. I'd love to understand from your experience working with what is a extremely traditional industry in logistics and in warehousing, what are some of the big problems that warehouses, warehouse operators, warehouse owners are facing, and where do you see the potential for technology disruption?
So it's definitely a really interesting space that we're operating in. As you look at the logistics industry as a whole, it's exactly as you were describing. It's quite traditional, and until we had the catalyst that came from the pandemic, where there was a huge opportunity, but in order to access that opportunity, they needed to embrace a lot more technology. The motivation for using the latest technological developments wasn't very well present. What we're seeing now is that people in the industry are realizing the impact this could have, and there's a massive labor shortage. There's a massive lack of real-time data, real-time information from the space, and this causes a huge visibility gap. Some of the bigger problems that people that operate warehouses, that people in the industry are facing, is how do you extract the last bit of efficiency? How do you maximize the utilization of the space? How do you ensure that you can run not just one warehouse, but you can run a network of warehouses all to the same level of 100% efficiency? And for us, being able to collect this real-time information, being able to transform this into insights, this is how we're seeing the biggest transition and the biggest shift in the industry is going to be happening.
Great. And it sounds like what you're hearing from the people owning and operating these warehouses is that they're ready for this technology now. They're open to embrace it.
That's exactly it. So what we've been seeing over the past 12 months is an incredible adoption for the technology. And the more we speak with customers, the more we speak with experts in the industry, everyone just gets it. And it's a very good period, because when you transition a new technology to that point where it becomes familiar to people in the industry, it becomes familiar to customers, you really know that it's starting to make a big difference.
Yeah.
And the adoption naturally gains that momentum from within the industry.
they've got through that kind of early fear of AI, and they're now really open to embracing it because they can see more and more the potential?
I think it's a combination of AI and the automation that enables that, and they've gotten, exactly like you said, they've gotten past the initial adoption cycle, the initial fear of it, and now everyone's seeing the benefits. Everyone's seeing, okay, we've rolled this out into a couple of sites. It made a massive difference.
Yep.
Therefore, they're directly internally incentivized to scale and expand.
That's fantastic.